Hi everybody, Casey Zander here, and in this video I'm going to be discussing, just like the title says, okay, the 3 psychological hacks that make all women obsessed with an alpha male. Now, with that said, I need to put up a little warning, okay? I need to put up a little disclaimer. Okay, these tactics or these processes are not meant for evil. Okay, this is not meant for you to lead a bunch of women on. In fact, this is for you to do the exact opposite. Now, if you follow this channel and if you hit subscribe, here's what's going to happen. I've made it a decision that I'm going to take probably the next 3 to 5 years or even longer and make some of the best content on dating and social skills and genuine help for men to attract the type of women that they've always wanted on this channel. So with that said, okay, let's kind of just dive in. There's 3 specific things you have to understand. But before we can do this, you have to realize one thing. The term alpha, or the word alpha male, okay, this has to start within your mind, okay, because the brain is very powerful. Now, the reason why I say this is because over the years after, like for example, inside of my Masculinity Blueprint MBT process, my program, my mentorship for men, we have over 3,000 people in there. Okay, I've seen all walks of life. I've seen some guys that are, 6'4" and jacked, right? They still struggle with anxiety and talking to women. So when I say alpha, this is not like a you're just born with it or you're not kind of thing. I'm telling you that this starts in your brain. Okay, it starts in your brain for you to make the decision that you're going to speak, act, and be what you want. So with that said, what is number 1? The first psychological hack is you have to be bold and direct with intent whenever you speak. Okay, now notice the language play that I'm using here. Bold and direct. Okay, the word bold means, in essence, confident or upfront. Direct means that you know what you want. Okay, with intent means that your words have meaning. Okay, intent means that you're speaking for a reason. This is super important. A lot of younger guys will never speak with pure intent, just like notice on this video. I'm communicating to you with direct intent. I'm telling you exact processes to do. Okay, this is masculine form of communication that you're going to want to master. The reason why you want this is because this shows that you are to the point and you have confidence. Okay, what it avoids is it avoids you beating around the bush. So the problem that I've seen is that 99% of guys simply just talk too much. And what happens is they think they have to use a lot of filler words or a lot of filler language, okay, to either hold the girl's attention or just to make up for lack of self-esteem in general. Okay, if you start to say less than necessary, okay, what this is going to do is it's going to force you into a communication pattern where you are now able to speak your mind because you have to be direct with your intent. So say less than necessary always, especially when you're talking with women. The reason being is because if you say less than necessary, what's going to happen is it's going to force you to use words that are exactly to the point of what you're wanting. Okay, and I'm going to explain later on through this whiteboard sequence why this is the best form. Okay, here's the key. The less you beat around the bush, the more confident and the bigger balls that it looks like you have. Okay, I've noticed something. There's a reason why so many men over the years, when I've made these whiteboard videos, they always like them and they always want them. And it's because the direct communication pattern with how I'm teaching is different. Okay, it goes the same for when you're communicating with anybody. You being able to get your point across shows big balls. It shows confidence. It shows that you're not only okay with potential rejection, but it shows that you don't even care if it happens. So with that said, I need to go on an approach anxiety rant. Because I'm laying in bed last night. Serious story. I'm laying in bed last night. It's going on, I think, 12:30. I'm almost asleep. It's funny because I always have these crazy epiphanies or these crazy dreams or these crazy realizations that I have to either write down on a sheet of paper or I have to actually go into my phone and I have to type it in so that way I don't forget it. And I realized something. The way that majority of men describe approach anxiety, even gurus, pickup artists, YouTubers, TikTokers, I don't care who it is, who you're listening to, okay? Most people describe approach anxiety completely incorrect. They are describing approach anxiety as overall fear of rejection, okay? Fear of the girl saying no. I've came to the conclusion last night that this is not what actual approach anxiety with women is. What it really is this. I want to, like I said, language matters, words matter. I'm going to look at this from my phone, okay, to give you the direct thing that I wrote down last night. So what I put, why you get approach anxiety. Uncomfortable with expressing direct sexuality in public in front of others. potential sexual repression in public, not necessarily fear of rejection, but embarrassment, having to admit and show that you're a sexual individual in public. Let's read that bottom line one more time. Fear of embarrassment, of having to admit and show that you're a sexual individual in public. Okay, as soon as you go and you want to talk to the pretty girl that you're attracted to, everybody knows that you like her, everybody knows that you probably think she's sexually attractive. Vice versa, if a girl goes and talks to you. What it is embarrassment or fear of showing that intent in a public setting or showing that intent to other people. And what this really boils down to, and for a lot of guys this happens with age, but you have to become comfortable with your own sexuality of being a man and being okay with expressing that. Now that doesn't mean you have to be so upfront and bold by saying, oh, we should go sleep together. Okay, you need to have some social calibration to you too. But getting to the point of saying, I want to take you out, I find you attractive, okay? I'm not here to waste my time, I'm not here to waste your time. I think we should go out. When is your schedule free, okay? Here's the thing. If you get comfortable with doing that, you're going to notice that you could walk away from any interaction, and even if you get some sort of rejection, it doesn't hurt and it doesn't sting. And it's because you finally had the balls to make your desire and your intent known. This does a huge thing for most guys psychologically when they start to live this way. So this is the first. The first is adapt the alpha mindset in your brain and be bold and direct with intent. But what is psychological hack number 2? Okay, and even at the end of this, if you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly why women get attached and attracted to this sort of individual. Okay, the second, get 100% square on your desires. This is so key. If you go into my MBT program, okay, for all of you who have not heard of that, I recommend registering for the webinar below, because after thousands of individuals, like, this is transforming the lives of men, and this is truly my life's work. But that's beside the point. I have a little funny story for you. Okay, when you get 100% square on your desires, and it forces you to actually sit down and write them out, it forces you to actually understand what you want, you're going to see for just how many weeks, months, or years that you've been living a complete lie. And I'm going to give you an example. Guys who want abundance and they want big rotations with women, what they'll oftentimes do is they'll hide that desire, they will lie about it. Okay, and then here's what happens as they lie about it, is they'll lead each woman on that potential monogamy or potential relationship, potential commitment is there. So they lie. Okay, but vice versa, in retrospect of that, guys who want a girlfriend, they're doing the exact opposite. They're going out on these dates, and even though they want a girlfriend, they're saying, hey, yeah, I'm just looking to take things slow. I don't really care. I'm just dating around. I'm seeing other women. Well, okay. So people are both doing the exact opposite. But then let's look at the next case scenario. Guys who just want to hook up. Guys who want to hook up will oftentimes play the role too of, oh, this could potentially go somewhere. So they start to lead the girl on. But even if you look at what women do, okay, there's a woman who I was seeing in the past. Girls who claim they just want to hook up or they just want sex. Okay, I've had a girl verbalize to me that she just wants to have sex with me. These types of girls that I've noticed get attached the hardest, and then in the end want monogamy and commitment to begin with. So if you see, everybody is lying. And it's because nobody is confident or comfortable with 100% their true desires. Nobody's comfortable or confident expressing what they want, not only out of the girl, but within themselves. And because of that, they are weak. They're weak and they're scared. Okay, you cannot operate this way. So I find this extremely funny because most guys have no idea what they want, and the more options you put in front of somebody, the less they're able to make a decision from the get-go. When somebody registers for my MBT webinar and afterwards they enroll into my product, when they get into the product, I have an onboarding form. And in the onboarding form, I have a question that says something along the lines of, what are you looking for? Do you want a short-term rotation with lots of sex? Do you want medium-term relationships with multiple women? Do you want potential long-term monogamy? Do you want a girlfriend? Do you want a wife one day? Okay, these are all the questions we have. The final question is potentially all of the above. We ran statistics inside of my company. We ran statistics, we ran analytics, okay? 85% of guys check the final box, potentially all of the above. And the reason being is because every single steak tastes good when you're starving. I want you to let that sink in. The $15 steak tastes just as good as the $300 steak at Mastro's if you're in Vegas. Like, when you realize that everything tastes good when you're starving, you realize just how few of options most guys have. And one of the reasons is because most guys don't know what they want. A true strong individual is okay with their desires, and they're able to put that out there without fear of rejection. So the reason why I want you to do this is because it makes the approach anxiety not hurt if rejection does happen. It makes any sort of the anxiety that goes along with rejection not hurt. So what I need you to do is I need you to stop lying. When you stop lying and you start getting square with what you want, here's what you realize. It's not that alpha males, okay, if you will, and that can be your own definition of whatever. Partially I use that in the title because I know people love clicking it, okay? It's not that alpha males never get rejected. No, okay? It's that they don't care if they do. The second you finally stop giving a fuck, and you say what you want, and you assume that what you're saying is correct by nature, you're going to start to win. So what I'm here to do is I'm here to give you permission to be okay with what you want. Okay, so I want you to comment that below right now. I want you to actually comment the words, I am okay with what I want. I'm comfortable with what I want in this world. Comment that. Comment, I am okay with what I want. I'm giving you permission right now to be comfortable, confident, and upfront with your own desires. This is the first step in the right direction. But what is number 3? What's the third hack? The third psychological persuasion hack, and it's not even persuasion, it's just you finally for once being honest. It's this, okay? You need to operate as if your authentic self is default correct. I have so many great analogies with this I want to make. Please stick with me. One of my biggest fears with these videos is you clicking out before I deliver the final points. Do not do that. That's going to bite you in the butt. Don't do that, okay? When you operate as if, and this is so wordy, but there's so much gold here. Really, there is. Just think about this for a second. Operate as if your authentic self is correct by default. Okay, so you hear a lot of like game gurus or pickup artists. They say congruence. Okay, congruence is a man. Congruence is 100% alignment with self. Okay, what is congruence? Congruence is when your words, thoughts, and actions match. Therefore, the woman sees that and she believes that you're confident. This has to occur. If you're not congruent, it's going to be very hard for a woman to want to sleep with you. It's going to be very hard for a woman to want to date with you. She's not going to find you sexually interesting. Like, you don't seem confident. Congruence is huge. But the key is to transcend above tactics. Okay, if one pickup artist says you have to throw a neg hit here, right? You have to throw a negative statement or a negative comment. You have to throw a hit right there. Okay, and then you have another pickup artist who's going to go and say something along the lines of, oh, you know, be very indirect and be witty. Within the first 30 seconds, I try to get her to laugh from indirect in nature. Okay, who's right? They both believe it. And it's because they're using tactics, but as soon as you transcend beyond, you transcend above the tactics and you realize what this actually means, if they both 100% believe what they're saying, if this pickup guy claims that you have to throw a negative hit statement right here, this pickup guy says that you have to be indirect and make her laugh within the first 30 seconds, but he also 100% believes it. The girl that they're talking to is not necessarily responding to the tactic of the hit state of the negative hit or of the witty joke and making her laugh. What they're responding to is the congruence and the belief within the man. Because they both 100% believe it, because they both 100% believe that what they're saying is true and what they're saying will get a positive reaction, because that's the energy they're bringing out into the world and to the table, this is what's going to work. And that's what she is now responding to. So you have to transcend above the tactics. Like, if you even think of this for 1 second, like, watch how many different ways you can say the same thing. Hey, I think you're cute. 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 Do you see how all 4 of those sound different? It's a different type of energy, and each person can react to it a different way, yet you're saying the same thing. When you transcend above the tactics, here's what happens. You get into this default mindset right here called, it's correct because I say so. Okay, inside of my Blueprint program, this is one of the first things that I teach guys within just the first couple weeks. You have to live and abide by the mindset that it is correct. What I said to the girl, how I operate in the world, is correct by default because I said so. Not because you said so, because I said so. Because this is the right way for me. Okay, that's what confidence is. You're operating as if your authentic self is default correct. And I really want you just to recognize how powerful that is, because there's so many guys who are trying to imitate. There's going to be a handful of guys, you're going to see me, how I carry myself or how I operate on this channel, and you're going to think, oh, I got to talk like Casey, but you don't. This is how I talk. There's going to be other guys, you go watch 10 different other YouTubers, you try to emulate them. Like, imitation is not well. Imitation is not good. That's not going to be good. That's bad things. Don't do that, okay? Operate as if your authentic self is correct by default. So why do women get obsessed, or why do women like guys who have these traits? Well, first, he's bold and he's direct. This is a very masculine form of communication. He's okay with his desires, and it shows that he's not scared of rejection at all. It also shows that he's not embarrassed to show that he has sexual interest. Okay, that's going to make her feel more comfortable when it comes to getting to the bedroom with you, due to the fact that you're comfortable from the get-go. Like, her energy is going to match your energy. The better you carry yourself, the better she's going to carry herself, and the whole interaction is going to be good. That's first. Number two, you're finally not lying. Like, when you lead women on, or when you create a confusing life for yourself, women start to hate you. Okay, you start to feel as if you're lying. You don't feel authentic with yourself. This is not good. Okay, start to tell the truth and be honest. Last but not least, operate as if what you say is correct by default. When I drafted this out on the whiteboard for you this morning, nobody told me what to write here. Like, I made this up myself. So there's power in that. There's power in creating your own personality. There's power in creating your own frameworks. There's power in living life on your own terms. There's this part in Fight Club I'll never forget. I was like 18 when I watched this. And Brad Pitt, he says to the other dude, I can't remember his name, but he says something along the lines of like, I look how you look, I talk how you talk, I fuck how you want to fuck, and I am what you want to be, or some shit like that. And it's like, what it really boils down to is he gave himself permission to just be or to act how he wants. And the second you start to live like this, you will have success, make no mistake. So hit the like button, guys, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.